is our entrance. Oops. My name is Jeremy Ford. I'm the Executive Director of Counsel for Defense of Chelan County, a public defense firm here in Chelan County. We represent all indigent people here in the county that have been alleged to have committed a crime. So we are essentially a nonprofit, and we get all of our money essentially is from the county. We get a small, I think it's about 5% of our budget comes from the state. Other than that, we're relying on it. We rely on our budget for a contract with the county. So we contract with the county to represent people. We were just looking for kind of a newer place and a place a little bit more ADA accessible. That was one thing that always worried me as being a director there. We really weren't able to accommodate people with disabilities as well, because we had, we didn't have access to the upstairs, and the front of the stairs contained steps for people with wheelchairs. So it was really kind of something I looked at when we moved to a new place. And the other place was getting older. We had issues with, holes in the walls, windows that didn't work, windows that were, stuck open, that kind of thing. So this building is newer. We invested in building these offices, which money we had saved. The other place was a little bit closer to the courthouse, but we're only really about a block and a half away from where we were before. So that's what we like about it. I think it's a good representation for our clients to look around and see, oh, they have a nice office. We used to have paper files. You're required to keep files based on the level of the crime. Adult Class A felonies are lifetime. Class B felony, I think they're 10 years, and Class C 5 years. So we used to have to retain like physical files. So at our old space, we had 2 rooms that were just full of files stacked from floor to ceiling, which was interesting if you had to go down there and look for an old file. Now it's a lot easier because with our collection system, you can just go through and pull it off online. Everything is cloud-based, so we have all our storage cloud-based. But there's a lot of storage. Now what we did is we went through and we actually hired somebody before we moved, and they scanned all the paper files into the electronic system. So everything that was in a previous client's file is still in the file electronically. I always grew up, we were underprivileged. I grew up like a lot of these people we represent. I have a lot of addiction in my family. I was divorced. My family was broken up at a young age. My father was an alcoholic. My brother was a drug addict who's now passed away. So I think I felt I can relate to a lot of these people, and I think that's what keeps me going in this. And I think that's what's important about this, is to remember these are people and not criminals, which is what I think a lot of people like to paint them as. But to be honest, I see, a lot of the people I represent every day. I have clients that work at, regular jobs. I was always taught you had to protect the rights of the worst people out there to protect the rights of everyone. And that's kind of how I've always done things. In order to be in this, I think you really have to have a commitment, especially to be in it more than 3 or 4 years, because that's usually people can make it through a year or 2 without, too much problems. But after that, I think is when you kind of separate people that really want to be public defenders and people that, just want to be lawyers.